It's 2019, and I'm bringing back the reviews. My name is Insane Raven, and I am back with another episode of IR Reviews. Oh, it's been too long, darlings. And yes, I'm playing a movie-inspired map for our movie review. Because why the fuck not? Alright, so we gotta talk about Escape Room 2019. And the greatest explanation I can give for this movie is take a look, take a gander. Wow, they're all on the other side, huh? That's amazing. Take a look at what Jigsaw did in 2017, and trying to revitalize the Saw franchise. Throw that out immediately because it didn't make any sense when you take into account the lore of the movie series it was a part of, or really anything else. Give it a fresh coat of paint, give it its own series, and then come out with a psychological horror that actually has you caring about the characters and on the edge of your seat. And you might walk away with something that Escape Room was trying to go for. And for the most part, it nails it. It nails every bit of it, and I really, genuinely loved this movie. It's everything the Saw franchise should be going into the future and work, and as they progress through their stuff. And it obviously has sequel bait, kind of just wafting out there, which I'm very excited to go do and be a part of. My one concern is that this movie isn't going to get the numbers needed to make a sequel. Because unfortunately, good movies don't get sequels. Moneymakers get sequels. And as much as I enjoyed this movie, as much as I think it is worthy of many a sequel, well, I'm not sure if I'd go many a sequel. I'd go with one sequel. I'm not sure that this movie's gonna get it. January is always a really terrible month for movies. Not a lot of people go in with high expectations. The movie came out tonight, and the audience was pretty dead. Now, I did go to a cheaper theater than normal. I did go to not my usual theater, because I was like, you know what? I want to save a couple bucks. I'm not sure how this is going to come out. I mean, it's coming out in January. I don't have that much faith in the movie. But with the audience size being how small it is, I am worried about it going forward. But we're not talking about the politics of movie making or the sales figures of movie making. We're talking about Escape Room. And Escape Room is a movie I would highly recommend you pick up. If you're gonna go see a movie, you go watch. If you're gonna watch a movie this weekend, go see Escape Room. It is genuinely tense, genuinely terrifying at some points, and I like it. Everything is kind of up for grabs. I do have a couple of critiques, some of them being just like, there are moments where like it is hella ham-fisted with some of the stuff it's trying to do, and it falls into cliches here and there to the point where like, not that like it takes you out of the movie, but it definitely ruins the bigger moments it's really trying to go for. Get ruined by the use of cliche, and only if you're really paying attention for it to change the norms or whatnot. Then you're gonna kind of see your twist ending coming. It's a horror movie. There's always a twist ending. So there were a couple of things here and there that I didn't like about the movie, but all in all, I was extremely tense watching it. And as for the first horror movie of 2019, I'm alright with it. Like, it's a very good movie. And I think part of the reason that I went in with low expectations, I think that definitely helped in my enjoyment of the movie. I'm not like, I'm gonna say it how it is. It is really good, but I do think that walking into it like, oh, this is gonna be awful, helped me enjoy the movie so much more than had I walked in knowing a lot of stuff about the movie. Yeah, dude. Not gonna lie, I have no idea what I did. Alright, so let's kind of run through it. So the whole movie is basically going off of this survival of the fittest type scenario. He uses 6 characters on the top of the hat. Mike, Amanda, JW. The main character whose name I've forgotten, but she's on the poster. Then there's the nerd, which I was just a wee bit annoyed with. The gaming nerd, which they take shots at a lot, which I got was a wee bit annoying. But all in all, the cast is really solid. You end up connecting with all of them, with the characters pretty well for the amount of time that they're there, and you end up riding with the ride with them. Each one of the characters, you get a mini little intro scene for about half of them, which basically goes through and says, okay, this is what you need to know about this character, and this is how they got this magical little box. Ben, it's Mike, Ben, Amanda, JW, the main character, and the nerd. Yep. Because like Ben came to me, so I was like, maybe the other one will come to me. Not important. Yeah. And basically, each one of them get a box, get invited to this escape room with the promise of $10,000 if they can escape. They can survive all the room. They can get through all the rooms and survive within the amount of time. They win. And the game gets very punny very quickly. But with the tagline of the movie is that their past is the key. You kind of saw that coming. Each room more or less corresponds to each one of the cast members, and is not only targeted, but kind of spoopy in that way. Of like, oh, that's nightmarish. Should not be allowed to happen. At all. But it also kind of shows, while I personally think that it might do some good things for the escape room industry, I don't think it's going to do all that good things. Like, hey, come to this event and possibly die. Yeah, can't see that doing well in the marketing. But I enjoyed it. So there's that. Pretty much, very quickly, you can get little hints here and there that there's been some serious spying happening on each of our victims before they get in, and that each one of them has a tragic backstory with interrupting flashbacks that come in to flesh out each of the characters. Not done in a way that it becomes grating or annoying, but done in a way that it's like almost like an anime flashback. It's like, oh, this is gonna be important for later. Type of way, which depending on if you're kind of into that, like, oh hey, this is relevant information for right now. You will or will not enjoy. But yeah, as the first horror movie of 2019, I really liked it. Thought it was good. I'm excited for the sequels, and without going into spoiler territory, I think that's all I'm gonna say about the movie. just that you should definitely go see it. I had a really fun time. I wouldn't say I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, but I was definitely like, I wonder what's gonna happen. And I really enjoyed that. I also really enjoyed that. Maybe it's because I've been watching too many Marvel movies recently, but it felt like all of these characters were very grounded and were very like, oh, okay, I believe what you're selling, Jack. Which, I don't know. That's something that I really enjoyed. While I was, like, when you watch some of these superhero movies, you kind of get very caught up in like, oh, you're not gonna die. Because you can't die. Because you could punch a tsunami and be fine. I don't know how the fuck you would punch a tsunami, but someone has probably done it, and that's where the joke is. Moving on. So yeah. I enjoyed the movie. I connected with characters. I had a good time. I was tense. I was scared for the characters. I had a favorite character. My favorite character turned out to be a dumbass. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say in this spoiler-free section of the video. Go see it. Tell me what you think about it in the comment section down below. And let me know what you thought about that. Also, if you do like the fact that the audio reviews are back, what movie do you want me to review quickly? Which do you hope I do review? Which do you not want me to review? So I can steer clear of that garbage. And all of the nitty gritty, stereotypical YouTuber type shit goes here. Including smash the like button, don't forget to hit the bell and other garbage that makes me sound important. Alright, you're still here, you don't care about spoilers. Good, let's go. So, like I said, there are a couple of things that do get ruined for you if you're keeping an eye out for cliches. And there's one or two cliches coming through that give away the endings for spoilers and whatnot. One of the biggest one being that the something in class ends up being important. Yeah, let's go with a sniper rifle. This won't be a terrible decision at all. With the class being a college student in class or a high school student in class learns about something that will become relevant to the plot later. Cliche is here, and that's a little upsetting, especially because at that point, with all the psychological horror of just fucking with the victims, they haven't really like dipped their toes into that aspect of it, and they do pretty hardcore. Pretty much is a moment where you think that the main character dies, which I forgot her name and I feel really bad about, because she really did a really good job. The movie kind of gives you this, oh, she's dead thing, but right before she dies, she's screaming about how if they can see you, nothing changes, because the whole time they're being watched by a security camera, basically. So she goes around the room destroying all the security cameras, screaming on the top of her lungs, if they see you, nothing changes, while she's choking on poison. And then you're supposed to believe that the poison killed her, but if you've ever seen a movie before, let alone a horror movie, you're like, oh, that didn't happen. Cool. So, there's that. Which I will say is extremely disappointing. Especially because, like, almost up to that point, it's like, you were doing so well. Let's go back to doing well. The main villain in the movie, which I was really excited about, they don't actually reveal. They reveal that it's a whole group of people, a whole production studio, as it is being filmed for TV. Almost like a Danganronpa type situation, where the whole thing is that every year, the stakes get a little bit more bigger, the rooms get a little bit more extravagant, and everything becomes a little bit harder to go through. And this year, the theme was sole survivors and statistical impossible type of things, which I did enjoy. Each one of them having a traumatic event in the past, which they barely survived, got gets them to be chosen for this escape room. And you kind of watch them go through each of their own rooms and be like, oh, that's why I'm here, type things, which I enjoyed. Even the nerd who's the first guy to get killed off, which was, I don't want to say to be expectant, because the way the movie does is like, oh, anyone could die at any moment. But it does kind of fill into, again, the horror movie cliches of the guy who knows everything, the guy who's like essentially the most capable person at the beginning of the film is always like the first to die, let alone the fact that he's a black kid, and he's like, oh, you die. You die now. I see. Which is really not fun. So pretty much everyone in the movie died except for your poster girl and for Ben, who is teased at the beginning of the movie to just get squished. And I want him to get squished. He's pretty much an asshole through the entire film, and I like that. Even like his backstory in comparison to like everyone else's backstory, everyone else gets this like traumatic backstory where it's like, I shouldn't be alive. I was the last survivor, and da, da, da. And he's like, yeah, I just wanted to have a good time and drink a bunch, and then I drove, and then I killed all my friends. It's like, oh, well, I don't have any pity for you. Yet he ends up being one of the only survivors, which I really enjoyed. It's one of the things I was like, oh, this is an excellent example of subverting expectations. Good job. Good for you. So there was that. Probably the hardest death in the movie was watching Amanda die. Amanda is this war veteran who, her whole thing is that like her truck went up in an IED, and when it went up in the IED, she was the only survivor, like everyone else. That's not that relevant, but she's the only real character that kind of like moves past through her trauma and uses that almost as a strength, while everyone else has this moment of like, no, I'm still caught in this thing, and this is something I'm never gonna fully be able to get over. She's like, no, I have a job to do, and I'm still that soldier, so of course I'm gonna lay down my life for you. And she ends up sacrificing herself in this super twisted death where she plummets to her death like a Disney villain. And it's like, oh, that was so much more heavier than I thought. Like, out of everyone who's going to die in this room, you are not the person I expected to die. The deaths come on a pretty good rate. Like, there's nothing... Like, there's never a moment where, like, you're sitting watching this film. It's like, I really wish that someone would just die or something, because, my God. The pacing's done really well. Which is another thing out of these, like, new IP horror movies that I get worried about. It's like, oh, well, the pacing's gonna be on garbage. Why is that something I want to be a part of? But surprisingly, it was pretty good. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the fact that the pacing was good. My biggest critique was something that I had to put in this spoiler section, and that sucks. My biggest critique is that there's the very last, like, 10 minutes of the film. Keeping in mind that at this point, we've had an awesome movie. At this point. Like, having a great time. Everyone dying at a good rates. No one, like, nothing too stupid happening where I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me type stuff goes on. The last 10 minutes of the film, you get this scene where it's like, all right, the last few survivors are here. Everything's been revealed as to be this whole like killing show because people are really sick and they like to watch people die type thing. Which, I hate the fact that, like, the movie's not wrong. Like, I'm over here being entertained as shit watching people die. And I'm like, movie, you alright. Which that kind of sucks. That like, I couldn't be like, no. But whatever. And it goes into this scene where it looks like... That was weird. Well, it goes into what would essentially be the beginning of the sequel, where a plane's going down and the symbol and like the organization's there, and Dr. No You Too is like doing shit, and it's super intense, and it's like, oh. And it would have been nice for like that to be the last scene. It's like, oh, okay. Because like a whole bunch of cops get involved, and you see them like almost break down the escape room type of thing. So it would have been really cool for that to be like the last scene, even though, like, because I'm doing this in a world where like they have to include sequel baits. Because at this point, you've already learned that she's coming back for the that she wants to like go after the company or whatever, and then she really wants to do the whole hero thing, which, you know, whatever. I guess we're doing the hero thing. So you already kind of like set it up, but then it goes further and showing you essentially what the next movie is gonna be about, and it goes through this whole plane scene, and then right before they crash into this mountain, they're like, and scene. Like, all right, good test run. What are the chances that she makes it out of that? She goes, oh, well, they're 4%. She has a 4% chance of her getting through that. Statistically possible, just not probable. And you see Dr. No You Too, or whatever the fuck his actual name is, something like that, be kind of blacked out, and you can see his silhouette, and he goes on a screen, and he goes, well, it wouldn't be a game otherwise. Also, fuck the guy who left. It wouldn't be a game if there was no chance in her winning. And then the last thing that gets said in the movie is, so let's play a game. And it's like, alright, little too jigsaw for me. You know, little too on the nose for my taste, but I'm not your movie maker. You do whatever the fuck you're gonna do. But if it wasn't for the last 10 minutes of the film, where it's like, alright, obvious sequel bait is obvious, I feel like the movie could have been much better. But it does go for that. Like, it does go for that whole Oscar bait. And it goes for it really hard, that I have to just say it's not nearly as good as a movie as it could have been. And that's upsetting. You know, especially when it was doing so well. Cut off the last 10 minutes of this movie, making an hour and 20-minute movie, which, by the way, is a perfectly fine length. Like, there's nothing wrong with that length of a movie. And you have easily a really amazing horror movie. But they tried to sell this sequel so hard in the last 10 minutes. It's like, okay, I don't care. Make that movie first. Put that in the movie. Not even put that in the movie. Like, have that being the opening of, like, the plane crash and whatever. And I'm in. I'm fucking in. But so they wanted to sell their movie that, at this point, I don't even think has a chance of being made. Because I haven't seen the numbers of how well Escape Room did. But it's like, you could have done such a better thing if you just didn't try to sell your movie, man. Oh well. But that's my review of the movie. That's everything I got. Thank you guys for watching, for being a part of all of this. And I will see you guys in my next movie review. If you do want to see a movie, if you think there's something that I'm not going to go see, let me know in the comment section down below, and I will get that out within the coming weeks. I know when next week's movie is going to be, but I don't have a movie after that. which is a little bit upsetting, if I'm honest. So, yeah, no. You do what you got, I guess. But yeah, that's been my IO review. I'm very happy that this series is back. And I hope you guys are excited for everything to come in 2019. And I will see you guys in my next video. Let me just jump over here. Be safe and bye-bye.